was 6 men of Indostan, to learning much inclined, who went to see the elephant, though all of them were blind, that each by observation might satisfy his mind. The first approached the elephant, and happening to fall against his broad and sturdy side, at once began to bawl, "God bless me, but the elephant is very like a wall." The second, feeling of the tusk, cried, "Ho, what have we here? So very round and smooth and sharp, to me 'tis mighty clear. This wonder of an elephant is very like a spear." The third approached the animal, and happening to take the squirming trunk within his hands, thus boldly up and spake, "I see," quoth he, "the elephant is very like a snake." The fourth reached out an eager hand, and felt about the knee, "What most this wondrous beast is like is mighty plain," quoth he. "'Tis clear enough the elephant is very like a tree." The fifth, who chanced to touch the ear, said, "E'en the blindest man can tell what this resembles most, deny the fact who can. This marvel of an elephant is very like a fan." The sixth no sooner had begun about the beast to grope, than seizing on the swinging tail that fell within his scope, "I see," quoth he, "the elephant is very like a rope." And so these men of Indostan disputed loud and long, each in his own opinion, exceeding stiff and strong, though each was partly in the right, and all were in the wrong. So oft in theologic wars the disputants, I ween, rail on in utter ignorance of what each other mean, and prate about the elephant not one of them has seen. My friends, I fear we have much the same tendency in nutritional epidemiology. And this 8-minute opportunity for me is to make a modest contribution to a magnificent conference. And my thanks to Dr. Stordalen and Professor Rockstrom for the honor of participating in EAT. My modest contribution is that we too are overlooking an elephant in the room. This mission, these strategies, these tactics are all about how to get there from here. They presuppose that we agree where there is. We would never have landed on the moon if all of the scientists involved were debating one another about how to find the moon in the first place. In the case of diet, we have massive discord. We cut fat, we cut carbs, we cut fructose, we cut gluten, we avoid GMO. We are here assembled in Stockholm, and all seem to agree that we need a more plant-based diet and are talking about how to achieve it, and yet the public is fascinated by the currently prevailing meme that we should all eat more meat, butter, and cheese. And I submit to you all humbly that we cannot get there from here until there is a massive consensus about where there is. And on the basis of science, in fact, there is. This then is the proposition to all of you. And of course, you are the enlightened. You know this already. But you too see what's happening in the world around us and know that the populations we are attempting to mobilize may not see it. The proposition to you is that we have to rally the public to common cause. We must acknowledge, above the din and the discord in modern society, that we absolutely do know where there is with regard to healthy eating. If there is any hope of achieving the confluence of healthy eating to advance the human condition and healthy eating to advance the health of the planet by achieving sustainability. I'm privileged to have had a bird's eye view of the elephant, if you will, having written 3 editions of a nutrition textbook and having been commissioned to write a paper for Annual Review of Public Health, Can We Say What Diet is Best for Health? If you look without bias at the relevant literature, there is literature for low-fat diets and vegan diets and low-glycemic diets and the DASH diet, dietary approaches to stop hypertension, the diabetes prevention program. Yes, even well-practiced paleo diets are much better than the typical diets in the modern world. They are not an excuse to eat pepperoni and pastrami. There was no Paleolithic pastrami. But game and lots of vegetables, that would be fine. Low-carb diets can be plant protein diets. Those work well. Mediterranean diet, of course. Twinkie diet, we probably don't need to consider. But what we all expose the public to constantly is a debate among scientists a debate among authors of the latest best fad diet book, which diet can beat which other. And what we are overlooking is that what makes any good diet good is what makes it like all the others, not what makes it different. The olive in the middle. And the olive in the middle was nicely characterized by Michael Pollan, who said, food, not too much, mostly plants. When Frank Hugh from Harvard and I wrote a piece in the Huffington Post using the same title as this 8-minute talk, Knowing What to Eat, Refusing to Swallow It, we got it down to 5 words, wholesome foods in sensible combinations. Same proposition, though. Foods direct from nature, mostly plants, and much the same, I'm pleased to report, was described in the report of the Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee in the United States this year in 572 pages. So Michael Pollan was clearly more succinct, but they landed in the same spot, and yet we are wrestling right now in the US both to preserve these recommendations against the forces of politics, but also against the prevailing perception at the level of our public that we were wrong. Because after all, we said cut fat and we didn't make the population healthier. Now, of course, when Ancel Keys first started talking about cutting fat, he did not say eat Snackwell cookies and all will be well. But when we cut fat, that's what we did. We ate low-fat junk food. When we cut carbs, we ate low-carb junk food. We have lost the faith of the public. And the prevailing perception is that no 2 nutrition experts agree about anything, and no 1 nutrition expert holds the same opinion for 15 minutes at a stretch. We must fight back against that, because otherwise, as our house burns down, we are like firefighters who bicker among ourselves about who has the right caliber hose, and nobody sprays any water on the fire. And so my request to all of you is actually to join me, or rather permit me the honor of joining with you. I have established what I call the True Health Coalition. It is already a membership of 175 people from over 20 countries who have come together to say we agree on the fundamentals of a healthy diet. And what I'm pleased to report about this panel is it includes people from vegan to paleo, some of the world's leading proponents of vegan diets, standing together in public singing Kumbaya, with some of the world's leading experts in the paleo diet saying, even our dietary recommendations are more alike than different. Please Google the Glimmer Initiative, sign up to join the True Health Coalition, or better yet, email me directly at david.katz@yale.edu, and we can talk about how you can get involved and support this. The mission of this conference, and it is dazzling, and again, my thanks, it's an honor to be involved. The mission is to get there from here, and there is a beautiful place, the place we want to bequeath to our children, where human health and the vitality of the planet come together. My modest contribution is simply this: all of the strategies, all of the tactics, all of the intellectual horsepower in the room, all of the king's horses and all of the king's men will fail to get us to the prize if we cannot convince the public we know what the prize is. We do. Let's be sure to tell everyone. Thank you all very much. Thank you.